it seems like a bad like financial decision too.
What's that?
Like if somebody was already lieutenant, they're gonna come in, could do their year as probation or something, and then automatically roll right back into that position, or roll straight into lieutenant and just be probationary for a year.
Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility.
But like the financial incentive for that would be you have less time training people and more time using their training that they've already got.
True.
Like every new job that somebody comes to, you you have like an onboarding cost associated with that hire.
Right.
Well, if you have to onboard a junior firefighter and then send them to all these classes to get them trained to the level that they can be lieutenant, well, their onboarding cost is more than somebody that we can hire on.
Yeah.
That's already got all that
Mhm.
stuff.
You'll see some of those positions pop up. Like South Walton right now is advertising a training captain's position. So you could come in right out of the bat, not working a single day as a training captain.
Gotcha.
Now, training captain, each department kind of operates a little bit differently, but like the position is really kind of the same across all departments, like especially state to state. So like state of Florida, you got hours you got to meet and all that. That's easy.
Yeah.
I understand a little bit like if you transfer in from another department outside of the state, putting time in at a place.
Yeah.
But we definitely in the fire service don't do a good job at like talent acquisition, if you will. So like
Yeah.
recognizing talent in people and understanding like, okay, this person's we need to do something with this talent.
Or leave their policies as they are and give somebody, the chief or somebody, the ability to do on the spot promotion. Or maybe not on the spot promotion, but on the spot, cut your time. You know, you've got 5 years to do. You've done 2. We think you're ready for lieutenant now. We're going to cut your time in half. You got to wait 6 more months and then you can take the test.
Yeah. Now, see, that did happen in 9/11, after 9/11. Like, you think 343 brothers died that day, right? And so basically, you walk in the next day and they're like, Ryan, you're up. You're in the seat. Congratulations, you just made lieutenant.
Yeah.
So, like, you're filling the seats of the fallen brothers.
Yeah.
The same thing happened in the military. Like, you watch Band of Brothers in the
Oh, yeah.
Pacific. Like, there's field promotions that happen all the time out of necessity.
Yeah, field promotions are a necessity, but I feel like a modern day version of that that's not due to some disaster would be cutting the required time in rank.
Yeah.
That is
Mm-hmm.
still dramatically
See,
helpful.
we have unions, and you got to follow union rules. Unions are great, especially on the fire side to a degree, but they can cripple you for sure.
There's too many rules.
There's a lot of rules. You got to follow the contract.
Sounds like a triathlon.
Yeah, it kind of is. But no, I agree. I think that we should do a better job at more talent acquisition, like facilitate the people that have a talent. If this person over here is very good at this, put them in a role where they are able to perform and do what they're best suited to do.
Yeah, I don't know why you would want to hold your people back.
Yeah. And take advice from the guys underneath. Like a lot of times people, when they get the white shirt on, they immediately think that they have all the answers.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
Need to know anything from
sorry.
you.
Yeah. I'm sorry, buddy. You've been in that seat for a while. You don't know what's happening on the streets. Like it's time for you to start paying attention to what's happening out here.
Yeah.
We have the answers. You just have to listen. And it's not just the fire service, that's everywhere.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're not allowing people to unlock their full potential. And that is the segue into the episode that we are having today here at Suffer Up. This is Nate and Ryan, where our mission is to encourage and lead others to suffer with a purpose, striving to level up in life with an emphasis on spiritual, mental, and physical well-being. This is Nate and Ryan. The show is sponsored and brought to you also by Soft Socks, our sponsor. They make a compression fitting sock for your feet, and they are great. We have ran in hundreds of miles in them now, and we will continue to use them. We're thankful for their support. We have a discount code for them, SUFFER10. You can slide over to our link tree and get you a pair of sweet soft socks. Unlock your full potential.
Welcome back to the studio.
That's it.
We're here to unlock our potential today.
Yeah. I'll start off with a little story.
All right, story time with Nate. Let's hear it.
Story time with Nate. So we had a little, I say little because he's a young firefighter, very eager young firefighter that worked overtime with us a couple shifts ago. And we were talking about the workouts and all this and that, and he's like, "Oh man, I should do that." I said, "Yeah, we are going to do that. We're going to do that today." And I told him, "If you can make it through the workout, I'll get you a sticker." I quit handing out stickers. They got to earn the stickers now. So, I've
Like,
yeah. So the little square sticker that we have, that's going to be the sticker that they get because I haven't handed any of those out. So if you have that sticker, that means that you completed one of the workouts in the book. And so kind of like a little morale thing. And then I've got a humdinger of a workout. If you complete that with me, then you'll get something else once I figure out what that is. But anyway, so he decided he wanted to do it. He goes, yeah, I want a sticker. That's how the conversation started. So we get out there. I give him my rules, and I'll go ahead and repeat my rules. I've said it on the show before. When we do this workout in gear on air, you're not to take any stitch of gear off at any point during the workout. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, you cannot take any gear off, and you are not done until you touch the truck. We talk about that in our Training Scars episode, as well as some of our other episodes about we touch the truck to illustrate the importance of making sure that you're out of the hazard zone and you've touched the truck. Now it's safe to take your gear off. Rule number 2. Rule number 3 is you can quit at any time. No judgment. You can quit at any time. However, you have to deal with the mental repercussions of knowing that you quit and that you ultimately failed that workout. You're not going to hear any bad mouthing from me. Usually that handles itself. People quit. They feel bad they didn't complete the workout. And usually a couple days later, I get a text saying that they completed it on their own and they did it. So I'm going to take the honor system and I'm going to trust that you did it. But in order to get the sticker, you have to do it with me. So that's just the rule. And then the other rule is whenever you tell me that you decide that you're going to quit, you have a buyout. Because when you're in a fire, you can't just quit and just say, I'm done. You still have to continue to work till the job's done. So you can say you can quit at any time. At that point, I give you a buyout. I judge it based off of how you're looking and how you're kind of moving. I can usually tell if you've actually put forth effort.
How dead you are.
How dead you actually are. And so anyway, we're doing the workout. We got not even a quarter of the way through. And he looked at me and goes, I'm going to throw up. I'm done. I said, you have to say I quit. That was part of the rules. So he says, I quit. I said, all right, cool. We're going to run around the station. So we run around the station. And he tells me he's going to throw up again. And I say, quit telling yourself you're going to throw up. You still got a job to do. I handed him the sledgehammer and said, you got to hit the Kaiser sled across, and then you're done, signifying that you have to force your way out. He hits that thing at least 10 times. He gave it a good 10 licks. He was hitting it pretty good. Well, then he immediately got down on his knees, ripped his stuff off, and threw up in the back pad. And he threw up like a warrior. Well, what I did was I then picked up the sledgehammer. I called a mayday, a simulated mayday, and I hit the sledge all the way to the end. And then from there, I grabbed him and pretended like I was gonna basically drag him out or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like a little tug, for my sake of like, okay, I put forth just a little effort. I'm not gonna drag his nice SCBA bottle across the concrete where we're at and damage something, but at least signify that I'm now prepared to drag him.
Yeah.
And we clean him up or whatever, and then we talked about it afterwards, and I said, dude, you told yourself you were gonna puke.
No surprise.
From the time you told me that you were gonna puke, how long did it take until you actually threw up? He goes, about 4 minutes. Do you think maybe you could have gone another 4 minutes? No. I said, no. You could have. You lasted from the time you said you're going to throw up to the time you actually threw up was 4 minutes. So therefore, I know you have another 4 minutes, but you told yourself you're going to throw up. So just know that your mind literally will control the overall outcome. You are giving up. I could see it in your body language that you're giving up.
Yeah.
So through all that, we talked even more. I said, I used the analogy. I said, you have a lot of unlocked potential, but it's down in a deep, dark basement that you're scared to go into. And until you make your way down those stairs to go find it in the dark in an area that you're not comfortable doing, you will never find that full potential. Mm. And when I said that to him, he was like, wow, all right, I get it. I said, no, you don't get it yet, but you will once you find it.
That's good, man. Let's talk about the puke thing for a second, because that's a little rant for me, because that's the biggest excuse in the book when you're doing an exercise. Somebody wants a break or they want to tap out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw up, or they just go and throw up, and they think they're done. Since when has throwing up ever stopped whatever else is going on around you? Even if you're sick, like with the stomach bug or something,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't go to work. Well, everybody else is still going to work. Your kids still got to get to school. Like,
Yeah.
puke it out, get back to work.
Yeah. 100%.
I mean, if you're actually sick, then yeah, you stay in bed. But like when you're exercising, the stuff still got to get done.
Yeah.
That's not an excuse to stop. And telling yourself you're gonna puke, yeah, like you said, of course you're gonna. Yeah, that's what you say and what you believe matters a lot.
Yep.
I like to tell myself the exact opposite. I'm like, I got an iron stomach.
Yep.
I could eat a hamburger right now and then get back to work.
Yep.
I don't know if that's true or not, but
yeah,
that's what I tell myself. And then regardless, the secondary thing that I tell myself is if I actually feel like I'm going to puke, like if it is imminent, then I'm like, I want to puke as fast as I can, get it out and get back. There's no need to stop for good. I mean, just puke it all out, spew that stuff everywhere, and then right back at it. There's no reason to stop there. I mean, hydrate after that because you'll dehydrate quick. But, you know, so what? Like, I mean, he would have had to break one of your rules to do that, take his mask off, puke. But I would have had mad respect for the dude if he just like, give me 2 minutes, I'm gonna go puke.
Yeah.
And like just ran out there, pulled his mask off, puked his guts out, wipe his face, put the mask back on, back to work.
Yeah. And that, let's see, that's also the beautiful thing about the rules because there's room to play within the rules.
Yeah.
He could have said, I'm not gonna quit. He could have never told me he was gonna quit.
Yeah.
And then he could have went to touch the truck, threw up in a trash can, put his mask back on, and got back to work.
There, went to a safe spot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that signifies
you never said that there was no breaks.
Yeah. I didn't say that. That's not one of the rules.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you run out of air or you have something like that, because now to be fair, he's a puker. That's not the first time he's thrown up. And he actually spewed fluids. So like he actually did throw up. It wasn't like I'm going to throw up and you go over there and they're
just spitting on the floor.
Yeah. Like the fake throw up just irritates me.
Yeah. I mean, some people do puke like that and that's fine.
But he could have done that. And that takes the creative mind of, okay, Nate told me the rules. Let's see, how can I don't want them to break the rules, but how can you almost bend the rules? Like, I almost want to see that. Like,
well, it shows what they really want. Because if you're looking for a loophole to do something bad, you know, people find a way.
Mm-hmm.
Vice versa. If you're looking for a loophole to do something good, to keep working, to keep going with the job till it's done, you're going to find a way.
Yep.
And so you're sitting there thinking like, well, I want the sticker, so I can't break his rules.
Yeah.
I have to finish this workout. How do I do this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it takes a little bit of thought, but it's really not that hard to think about if your end focus is what it should be of completing the workout, finishing the job.
Finish the job. Exactly. And we talked about that afterwards. He's like, he was beating himself up. So like the natural process of the rules was taking place.
Yeah.
He's feeling bad because he couldn't finish the workout. And that workout, I told him at the beginning, because I asked him, I said, how much have you been working out? Because I try to gauge the workout based off of some achievability. So it's not like too far to reach where they feel discouraged to a point like, oh, this is dumb. So I said, that workout's actually named after another firefighter that I did it with, and he had a very similar outcome, didn't finish it. So I named it after that guy because it broke him. And so it's not that hard of a workout at all. But it's enough to test you a little bit. But we were talking about it afterwards, and he's like, I'm going to get that workout. I said, good.
Yeah.
Do it.
And he can.
And
he could have done it the other day.
He could have done it that day. And I said, now what's also you have to think about too is you put forth 15 minutes of work and it didn't get you anywhere. So now you have to start over and you have to get back in your gear, get a bottle ready, and go sweat again for 15 minutes just to catch up to where you left off.
Just to get to the start.
Yeah.
Your new start.
Your new start, because you now have unfinished business on the table.
Yeah, they talk about this in ultra running, how like you have to run in a 100-mile race or something, you have to run 60 miles before the race starts. Because you've got to get yourself to the point that, okay, now this is extremely challenging. This is uncharted territory. This is when my race starts.
Yep.
And it's not so much that it's a race for time in that case, but just like this is where it gets hard.
Yeah.
But I had to put in all the work to get to this point.
Get to that point.
And I had to put in the months of work and training to get to the start line at all.
Yeah.
But that start line doesn't necessarily signify the true start of your race.
Mm-hmm. So, and I mean, he made it through a fire academy, but I'm finding maybe I'm too extreme. I don't know, but I'm hearing a common trend of like, that's the hardest gear workout I've ever done. Like how? Like how? What? Okay, that's fine. I appreciate the fact that they said that, but it's like, how is it that is the hardest? I got news.
Well,
go ahead.
It could be the hardest gear workout they've ever done due to two circumstances at the same time. You go through the fire academy, you know you're about to go into this hellacious workout period where you're going through the academy. So you prepare.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go through these workouts. They're really hard, possibly even harder than what you're putting them through, but they were more prepared.
Yeah.
Right now, they're going into this unprepared
mm-hmm.
because they've let themselves go and haven't maintained that level of training throughout and go back to a really hard workout that may be just as difficult or maybe slightly less or more than the fire academy.
Yeah.
But regardless, they're so much less prepared. This is the hardest workout they've ever done.
Yeah. That's true. That's a good
it's
point.
Not necessarily just the workout.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. But yeah. But I am excited because I'm supposed to be helping with the fire academy coming up with our department. And I'm very excited because I've got a bunch of team building. And I love watching people navigate their full capacity, their full potential, and unlocking a side of them that they didn't know was there. And so we'll kind of pose the question and discuss it. What does it look like to try to find that unlocked potential? What tactics do you use to find that basement? I guess we'll just use the analogy of the basement. I think it's fitting.
Yeah. Well, I think first you have to stop telling yourself the lies that you constantly tell yourself, whether it's I'm going to puke or I can't go any faster or I can't do it today.
Yeah.
Maybe another day when I got more sleep or when I ate a spaghetti dinner the night before.
Yeah.
I mean, we tell ourselves so many lies and then expect ourselves to outperform our beliefs.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen.
Mm-mm. That's true.
I don't know anybody that's ever believed that they could do something, or I'm sorry, that's ever not believed they could do something and then done it anyways. I mean, you may surprise yourself from time to time, but at some point you have to believe it. Like, so for instance, I have surprised myself before in like runs where I'm like, oh, I'm going to go do a 5K. I think I can do a 21-minute 5K.
Yeah.
Well, about halfway through, I look at my watch and I realize, man, I'm on pace for a 19-minute 5K.
Yeah.
Like, that's way faster. Like, well, I thought I was going to do a 21. Maybe I can do a 20.
Yeah.
Maybe I can't hold this pace the whole time, but maybe I can still get a 20, like better than what I originally thought. And then I come through and I'm somewhere right around there.
Yeah.
So I didn't believe I could do it until I started doing it. But then at some point, that mind shift switched.
Yeah.
And it was like, maybe I can do more. And I believe that. And then you get there. And, I think that that's the case for everybody. You can limit yourself one way or another.
Yeah.
You run into it, you're like, oh, I'm going way too fast. I'm not going to be able to hold this pace. I'm not even going to get the time that I wanted.
Yeah.
Well, then you're going to end up walking the last mile.
Yeah.
And getting a 30-minute 5K.
Yeah.
When you could have done so much more.
Yeah.
It's just what you chose to believe in that moment.
Yeah. Full transparency. That's the area that I struggle in. And so kind of segues into the point that I was going to bring up is recognizing those footholds.
Yeah.
Or those stumbling blocks, I should say, because for me, we'll just use running as an example. It's never really the distance because I've yet to get done with a run so far and be like, I don't think I could have taken another step, And so, but when I go out for those fast 5Ks, getting my heart rate into the red, plus 180, 190, it's hard for me to get there because it becomes this uncomfortable zone. And I'm like, okay, I'm pushing what I think is as hard as I can push. But then when I get done, I'm like, I think about the excuses I made for myself during that time. Even though I'm still pushing a little bit of a boundary, it's a different mindset of like, I know this hurts, but I have to just hold on just a little bit longer, just a little bit longer.
I was a little surprised you wanted to talk about this topic because that was the first thing that came to my mind was like, man, Nate's calling himself out.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about that before, how you have trouble reaching your zone 5 heart rate. Not necessarily your max, but close to it.
Yeah.
and how like on a 5K, my max heart rate will have been 190 and yours is like 170,
Yeah.
175. And I'm like, dude, did you even try? Like, yeah, I did, but something was holding you back.
Yeah. And that's the inner dialogue in my head. And it's a constant battle to push that envelope just a little bit more each time. And I'm getting closer. I am getting closer to it, but I don't really know yet how to unlock that to where just complete animal mode of some people will look at me and think I'm crazy as it is right now, but I also know deep down inside Nate's heart that I'm not there yet. I'm not to where I could be, and that part, twofold. It affects me in a way of like, man, I know I ran a PR, but it's still, I know deep down I did not put forth 110%.
It haunts you.
It haunts you. Like it bothers me. So I also think that there's a lot of people that have the mindset of, oh, well, you did your best. Like, but was it really my best?
Yeah.
Like, it really wasn't. Like, yes, I PR'd. Yes, it was a good foot forward, but it wasn't truly my best.
I think that mindset right there is the thing that sets apart the excellent from the good.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
think most people fall into that good category of like, yeah, I just tried my best. I did good, and that's good enough. And then they don't have the desire to see how much farther they could go.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. That's just not who I am.
Yeah.
I don't think it's who you are. I think if you have that feeling in your gut right now as I'm saying this,
Yeah.
you're probably not in that category. You're probably like, no, I don't like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think I can do better.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's more for me.
There's more. Yep.
Yeah. And I don't mean more like more money or more fame or something. Like, I just feel like I could be better.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's always room for improvement.
Yep.
And I personally think that's a really good mindset to have. It could be, used the wrong way. You could always be searching for how you could do better and never be content with where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a recipe for not being content.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you never really know your full potential unless you keep trying.
Yeah. On that word contentment, that is a very fine line to toe when we're talking about, and I know listeners, we are talking about physical performance right now, but you can apply these concepts to your job, your marriage, your fatherhood, or being a dad or a mother, however you want to apply this. But the big thing is like being content. So you decide you're going to be in better shape. We'll just use that as an example, like we've been doing. You're going to be a better runner. So you go and you do your 5K, you perform well, you get better, you're able to complete a 5K. Let's just say that. You finish your first 5K. Well, you finish your first 5K. Congratulations. That's awesome. Job well done. You can be content with the fact that you're progressing and that you're getting better, but never settle on that level because there's always something more for you to unlock. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
I was gonna ask that, like, how do we find contentment with this mindset? And that's a really good way of putting it. Some a little mental framework that I like to do to try and catch myself and prevent myself from going into that never-ending cycle of like, oh, I could do better. I'm not happy. Is I try and be happy in the moment, like be present and be happy. Say that day, like I just ran a new 5K PR. I'm gonna be happy about it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna celebrate that. I'll worry about getting faster tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll be like, all right, that's my new PR. That's the new record to beat.
Yep.
And so like you don't steal your own joy
Yeah.
of the accomplishment that you did. You just finished your first 5K. You just walked your first mile. Whatever it is, you don't want to steal that joy. Otherwise, what's the point? You're doing it for nothing.
Yeah. That's very good. And I think that there's just so much unlocked potential. I would say we joked about this at Firehouse the other day about throwing out statistics. I'm like 99% sure, honey, that the ketchup's on the top shelf, But I think the majority of the people walking around aimlessly in America today are at probably 50% of their full potential.
Oh,
and I think that's generous.
Easily.
Like there's so much there. Like God gave us amazing bodies to do amazing things, and your mind is a powerful tool for good and for bad, but it is so powerful if you would just apply yourself and just go do the thing. It's amazing what you can do. Like the last couple runs that I did a couple weeks ago now, I had zero intention of running double-digit miles. Zero. I just like, I'm just going to run, just not going to put any pressure on myself. I look down at my watch and I hit 20. I'm like, I guess I'll do one more lap, and then it ended at like 24 miles. Like, but then I finished 24 miles literally because I ran out of time. Like I had to get back to the house. I text Ryan and he's like, oh, cool. So you're 2 miles short of a marathon. You couldn't have just gotten to the marathon. Like, dang it, Ryan. But
You were so close.
I was like, it's
Yes.
just 2 more miles,
Come
but
on.
I made it again. I made a commitment that I would be home at a certain time. So I honored that. But at the end of the day, it's like, I still wasn't there yet. Like, it was just a training run, or I
Yeah.
don't know. It's,
Aside from your 50K, though, is that the longest you've ever ran?
yeah, but aside from the 50K.
Yeah, aside
And
from
I'd had
that.
a 20 the week prior, and then like an 18.
Yeah, I
so,
mean, like that's one of those things that like be proud of yourself that day. I
Yeah.
mean, like stop and
felt
rejoice
good.
in that,
Yeah.
and like I'll get 26 next week. Whatever.
Yeah.
Start a little earlier so I got more time.
Exactly. Yeah. So just, guys, find a way to listen to that inner dialogue that's going on in your head. And I'm going to steal this one. David Goggins said this in his book. He would record himself talking to him, like he would record himself talking on what's going on in his brain. And when he replayed it back, he was like hearing a ton of hidden excuses that he didn't know were there. Like there's an inner dialogue that's in there that's constantly tugging you back. I think some of that is a little bit of self-preservation.
Oh yeah.
But it's also like, the joke of the demon and the angel on the side. Like you got the good side saying, you can do it, man, go get it, go. And then you got the like, nah, man, you ain't gonna get that. What are you doing, dude? You should sleep. I know it's 3 a.m. Don't wake up. Hit snooze. Like when you hear those things and
You
those
need
excuses.
your sleep. You need this.
Yeah.
You need that.
Yeah.
I was running the other day and it was really hot out, and my inner dialogue was like, "You need water. You didn't drink enough before this."
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna run harder now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll see if I need water at the end. How about that?
Prove your dialogue wrong.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can't go to school, or like, oh, I'm too busy for this. Like, just go do it. And I say all these things, and if you know me personally, you know that I struggle with these things. We
Yeah.
all do. But I think the skill and ability to understand that this is a very real thing amongst a lot of people, and even the David Goggins of the world, the savages as he calls them, they still struggle with what we're talking about. They do.
I won't repeat what David Goggins calls it, but your inner something.
Yeah.
That inner
Yes.
voice, we'll call it.
That inner voice, yeah.
But it's that weak voice.
Yeah. We all have it. It's not like, don't look at this as like, oh, Nate and Ryan are talking about like, I don't have that. Like, no, you have it.
You got it.
We all have it. It's
and we
just
all
a matter.
struggle with it.
we
We're
all
not
struggle
immune
with
to this. Another run that I did the other day, this probably won't make sense to any of you who aren't Garmin watch owners, but
Garmin is the demon.
Garmin's a savage.
Yeah.
This little thing on your watch just calls you out constantly and tells you suck.
Yeah. It's the negative like
yeah.
football coach that you had in high school.
Garmin's the reason I run a PR and then cry myself to sleep. No.
Yeah.
No, but it gives you workouts.
Mhm.
If you're training for something, it'll suggest workouts. So I did a run workout the other day that it suggested, and let's just say I did not meet the times. I didn't follow it very well.
Yeah.
It was like run this pace for this long. I went too fast on that part. Then it was like run this pace for this long, and it was a really fast pace, and I couldn't hold that pace for that long. I said I couldn't. I struggled too.
Yeah. Mhm.
And anyways, at the end of the workout, it gives you an execution score telling you how well you executed the workout that it prescribed you. My execution score that day was 1%.
Nice.
1%.
Well, nice.
I remember looking at it and I just was like, screw you, Garmin. I
Yeah.
was about ready to throw my watch in the lake.
Yeah.
I was done. But, you know,
Execution.
I still got a good workout in.
Yeah.
I don't know what the watch is talking about. I felt like it was great.
Yeah. It's like the policy chief that like wants to drive home all the policies and standard operating guidelines. Like, you did not follow protocol. Yeah, but the job got done.
Yeah.
I don't care. You didn't follow protocol. Yeah.
But
it's the same thing.
to my point, I didn't follow the protocol that my watch was giving me. I couldn't. I made excuses throughout the workout and was unable to perform
Mhm.
what it said I should have. So I mean, could I have actually done that stuff right now at this time? Maybe it was a little ambitious in what it
Sure.
was suggesting me, but I definitely think I could have done better. I could have gotten a better execution score than 1%.
Yeah.
That was measly.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something that we all struggle with, no
Mhm.
matter how tough you think you are or how good you are at breaking down those barriers. If you're good at breaking down the barriers, you'll keep finding new ones.
Yep.
So you're never immune to it.
Yeah. Very true. Yeah. So I'd encourage you guys to just find a way to just unlock that full potential that you have in you. You're capable, you're made for more, and you have so much there that you could tap into. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow, steady, consistent, very consistent progress builder. And so we just want to be an encouragement to you guys to really kind of tune in to what is going on in your head. And while you're on this journey, if you're along with us, please share it with us. We would love to hear it. And we also just want you guys to find your better self. Like we said in our mission statement, that we're here to encourage and lead others to suffer with a purpose. And this is part of that purpose. And striving to level up in life with an emphasis on spiritual, mental, and physical well-being. And that's literally what it is. Unlock that full potential that's there and try to figure out what it is, your dialogue, and what is going to make you push that extra mile, that extra distance, that extra step in order to achieve that full potential.
Yeah. Just to add one more thing,
Yeah.
this that whole mindset of leveling up, of this finding your next level and growing, that isn't meant to be done alone.
Yeah.
Like you said, you texted me that you ran 24 miles, and I told you good job. I think you left that part out. I was like, wow, that's awesome, man.
No, you did.
And then I said, you couldn't have just ran 2 more.
But I wouldn't expect anything else.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, find guys or gals, find people that are going to be in your corner that will cheer you on, but also push you.
Yeah.
Like, I know you could have done 2 more miles. I know you could have done probably 10 more miles.
Yeah.
But the point is, just little nudges here and there.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to beat you down.
No.
And stuff like that. But like,
do not
they'll
take it that way.
praise you, but they'll also push you.
Mm-hmm.
So that next time you go out there and you're like, man, if I stop at 25 miles, my friends are going to make fun of me. I should just go to 26.2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, there's always room for the people around you to build you up.
Yeah.
Because like we were just talking about, you're never there. Like the finish line is constantly moving.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good thing.
It is. I love it.
Surround yourself with good people.
Yep. Build a community, guys, and lean on each other through the good times and the bad times. And just know that we feel and experience the same things you're feeling. I have lazy weeks where things are not firing. Life does get busy. But if you are able to recognize and understand that as the seasons of life come your way, that you're able to understand the dialogue that's happening and recognize it, look at it in the face and say, nope, I'm meant for more. We are going to conquer this together. I'm going to surround myself with like-minded people, and I'm going to suffer through it, and I'm going to get through it. And then once you do reach that summit, it is well worth it. But then once you reach that summit, you look across, there's another mountain to climb. So get after it.
Love it. Suffer up, guys.
Suffer up.